relate to that topic. Where should we start, though, is the question. Oftentimes you hear about people who break out of their shell, and it's sometimes, it's an uncharacteristic thing. Is what it's considered. Like if you're, say, maybe a shy person or a quiet person, you break out of your shell maybe at somewhere and you start, talking, you're more sociable than perhaps usual. Melissa, would you consider yourself more of an introvert or an extrovert?
I have a saying. It says, an introvert thinks to speak and an extrovert speaks to think. By that definition alone, I'm definitely an extrovert. I can't really process information in my head alone. Like, it has to be out. Like, I have to talk it out. I love bothering people. Like, at softball, I'm a softball coach, so I'm talking to girls, and if I see that they just don't get it, or I feel like I didn't understand it right, or it's not processing in my head, like I didn't explain it the way I wanted to, I sit there with them and I'm like, I know, I just want to talk this out with you. And they're 15-year-old girls. So they're like, just, you get to the point. And I was like, I'm trying to think this through. And like, we know, like rolling their eyes back. Okay, sorry, not everybody's got it together. And almost 26, give me a break here. But yeah, so definitely an extrovert. I also think I'm very out. Yeah, extrovert. There we go.
Thank you, Melissa. Shellfish is a term that generally refers to mollusks and crustaceans. It's kind of a food. It's really a culinary word, though. And it's a bit of a misnomer, right? Because all of those things, they're not really fish. So, and it reminds me of a Jim Gaffigan bit where he talks about shellfish being bug meat. Because if you really think about it, lobsters and things like that, they're really just giant bugs. It makes the point. If you came home and found a chicken walking around your kitchen, you'd be like, how'd this get here? But if you found a lobster, you'd be like, we're moving. And so, to that point, MJ, what are your thoughts on shellfish? Do you like or do you dislike them?
Wow, I was going to say that I love shellfish until I started envisioning them as bugs with shells on them. Which, I remember in The Lion King they feasted on bugs, and they said it tastes like chicken. So I still like shellfish. I don't think that I'm going to stop eating it. And to be honest, I love seafood. Love it. I grew up on it. I would peel and eat my own shrimp. I would crack my own crab. And it was a family gathering type of activity. So it wasn't just like we ate to survive. It was more of an experience. So for those of you that have issues with working for your food, that's my sister. I will peel my shrimp and I'll pile them over here. And I'll peel my shrimp and I'll pile them. And I've peeled about 20 pieces of shrimp and I'm ready to feast on it, and they're gone. And she would take my peeled shrimp off my plate and eat it. But luckily, my father is the opposite, where he'll crack my crab and he'll give me the meat. And so it's really sweet. But I grew up on shellfish. I don't care if they are bugs with shells. I'm still going to eat it. I like to work for my food, and it tastes really good.
I think your sister was the smarter one. Waiting there. Aaron, I'm going to give you something to read.
Within this habitation.
What?
Keep going.
Yeah, and then I'd like you to think about, it's a bit of a tongue twister, you might know it. And then I want you to describe what you think this tongue twister is about. Here you are. No, you got to start. You can't read it beforehand.
She sells seashells on the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. For if she sells seashells on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. This is a parable. Oh my. This is a parable. Because she takes shells out of their habitation on the sea. But are they still seashells? She sells the shells on the sea. Well. Did she sell her shell? She failed. However, although she sold the shell from the sea, is the shell's habitation still the sea if she took them out of the sea to sell them? That's a question we all have to think. Okay. Now, is the shore of the sea without shells a good place for habitation for the bugs of DC? I think not. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Well played. Thanks for being a good sport. That was a hard one.
That was hard.
So, I hate to put a damper on your little thing there, but the tongue twister is actually about a gal named Mary Anning, who was a fossil collector in England during the 1800s.
Ah.
Yeah. She discovered a lot of marine reptiles and helped to contribute to paleontology when it was still very much a developing field. Martin, do you have a favorite dinosaur?
Well, that was the weirdest segue that I've ever seen at a table topic question. I was completely caught off guard by that question, so congratulations.
Yeah.
As far as favorite dinosaurs go, I think pterodactyls is the first thing that comes to mind. I know everybody says Tyrannosaurus Rex because that's the easy one, he's the scary one. Yeah, of course. Even MJ's like, yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex. But I think for me, the pterodactyl is actually pretty cool. And in a way, just the fact that it's one of the first things that comes to mind that flies. It's a precursor to a lot of the birds, which I guess are kind of all dinosaurs or in that reptilian family. Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't know, I always really enjoy when they make references to dinosaurs in cartoons and movies, and usually you do have the T-Rex in there, usually you do have some pterodactyls like flying around or picking people up and, I don't know, causing mayhem. So that's sort of what I think about. Maybe it's just I have some sort of weird infatuation with flight and flying, because I think flying is a really cool deal. If we were able to fly and our bones weren't so heavy and the rest of our bodies weren't so, I don't know, ill adapted to the habit of the air and the skies, then we might be enjoying that kind of habitation as well. So thank you.
Thanks, Martin. You should check out wingsuit, face diving. I heard it's really fun.
Yep.
Until you fall. Breaking out of your shell usually means either over. Oh, I already did that one, didn't I? Yeah. My bad. Sorry. Did I write the same question twice? Because that'd be fantastic if I did. Oh, no, I didn't. So I talked about breaking out of your shell earlier. We talked about extroverts versus introverts, or using as overcoming something. Rick, can you talk about a time when you feel like you broke out of your shell? That's not an excuse.
You got you covered. There you go.
Can you repeat the question? Sure. On talking about breaking out of your shell, can you talk about a time that you can think of where you broke out of your shell?
I broke out of my shell.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Mm-hmm.
A time when I broke out of my shell, well, I have to say that I probably never was in a shell. because I've not really felt confined by certain things. If I don't know them, I'll try to learn them, but I don't ever think that I felt like I was confined. So everything was new and an adventure. So that means that I've been open to experiencing a lot of different things, and so I like to continue to do that. This group, for example, is one of the things that I decided would be helpful to me to explore my speaking without saying uhs and all those kinds of things. And also, if I can every once in a while try to talk about the word of the day, which is habitation.
That's
I wonder
slick.
if one gets points for that. Habitation?
Yep. No, because excuse me.
Okay.
Oh, I thought
Did you?
Well, I could if you want to engage in talking with me. Then, but basically, yeah, I've been a kind of person that really never had a shell, so I guess I've been kind of just out and about whenever. So, thank you very much.
Yeah, you got me. You got me.
You know you have a problem when you get defensive in someone's speech.
Yeah.
Oh, word of the day.
Yeah, I'm like uber competitive. Yeah. Freaking nice.
That was
with
good.
that,
Doing that.
I'll welcome back up our coach master.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark, for